Gountess without a doubt has the most horrific backstory so far in Gachiakuta. His tale is one of fear, a man backed into a corner with no options, one of torture, taken advantage by a devil who promised him the world, and one of utter hopelessness, begging for a sliver of hope again to see his star. But before we even get into Gountess's horrific character story, you need a lot of context. I was gonna say a small amount, but no, it's a lot. So we begin pretty far back, all the way in chapter 29 when chokers are first named. Rudo is told to take off his chokers as his cleaner friends expose their blood, taking it off and putting it onto his choker. These chokers are basically phones, and while you'd need a phone number for a phone, chokers need blood, so everyone demands Rudo's blood. Introducing chokers in this silly moment makes us really not think too much of them. Everyone wears them and they quickly become normal to us. It literally reads as a comedic bit to explain how they communicate in this trashy world. But you also gotta realize, blood is an oddly creepy thing to need. Later down the line, as Rudo slowly learns the truth about the Watchman series, he's introduced to the idea that these chokers, a vital instrument, may very well be a part of the series. This, plus a few other reasons, leads him to wanting to meet this choker maker. The issue is, the guy is incredibly secretive, and creepily enough, the info broker states he listens to literally everything. He tells this in the form of an ominous letter, building up the idea that this guy, this mystical, mysterious figure, a guy who made his chokers the norm for communication, like us in smartphones, may very well be up to something nefarious. Also, kinda like the people who give us our smartphones. Also, trust me, it sounds like I'm off topic, but all of this I'm saying is very important. I'm gonna have to talk about a good few things before Gountess's name is even said. Ultimately though, he tells Rudo he'll find the choker maker at the doll festival. He needs to go there and look for the white crow. The crow will lead him to the choker maker, yet he can't say anything. A peep and the listening choker maker is gone. And with this, the time finally comes to head down to the doll festival. The place is bright, magical, straight out of a fairy tale. But that's not why we're here. When the main show begins, Rudo dreads that he doesn't feel close to the crow. But as the show explosively starts, there it is. The white crow is a person, the queen of entertainment, Lily. She begins her magical performance. Music, switches outfits, apparitions behind her, all the result of her wand-like vital instrument. Really cool, by the way. But the big issue is, how does Rudo speak to such a star? Well, turns out there's a raffle ticket. Winner speaks to her. And you already know who wins. It's Rudo. He's teleported to the stage in an instant, terrified as he looks up at Lily, a being who emits an ominous presence. Better yet, she clads him in a dark curtain, all before she pulls a choker out of her... Yeah, we'll leave it at that. She tells him that this is a special choker and he needs to put it on after the stage, but it'll appear as something different to everyone else. That being a bra, a huge bra. Yes, I'm so serious. If you are listening to this audio only, you are missing out on this panel. Regardless, Rudo finally begins to hear a voice from the choker, saying, "I am the choker maker. I know what you wish for. I have info and a piece of the Watchman series. If you want them, destroy the doll festival." They tell Rudo there's no time to waste as he breaks down confused, finally yelling that he can't do that, before this choker maker speaks to Lily? They're close, and I guess it was a misunderstanding. Lily slacked and didn't tell Rudo everything. In reality, Rudo needs to save the people. There's someone using his chokers for malicious purposes. It's been a long time plan, and now the person has found a way to rule the world. He'll use the chokers to command the people, everyone wearing them, and Maimo will be the one to control them. With this, the overarching plot about these chokers seems to come to light. Everyone has these chokers indeed because of the choker maker, and he seemed to want everyone to have the chokers, but the reason something bad is happening or that they're nefarious isn't because of the choker maker, rather someone using the choker maker's chokers. And the idea of him being used, well, all of a sudden, him being mysterious makes a lot more sense. Ruto, having heard what we haven't, yells that Maimo not only took the choker maker's feet, but his parents who raised him. Maimo smiles as we finally learn this choker maker's name, Gountess. We then begin to slowly spiral into learning about Gountess, the star of this video, beginning with where it all started, the chokers. He imbues a random cord with his blood to create the choker. Because it's the Watchmen series, it's immensely powerful and therefore can be mass produced. And what Maimo does is drink the blood attached to every choker on the ground, meaning he has a connection to every single person, and is now planning to use his very own vital instrument, a microphone, to control them. He has Gountess caged up, extracting his blood constantly to create chokers, all for this sadistic, insane plot of world domination. We then begin to see horrific glimpses of Gountess, far away and frail, strapped to a chair and pinned with needles, his body's blood being stolen as fast as it can be created. Maimo speaks to him through a radio. It's been 20 years since this began. His chokers have taken the place as the top communicator. When Maimo had met him, he had ambition, till one day he had abruptly stopped. He comments on Gountess's rebellion. It must have taken tons of effort. After all, he ordered him to report everything he learns through the chokers to him. Perhaps he's built up a resistance to his power. Gountess shuts him up. He wants something, right? He knew Maimo would come when the tides turned. Now he'll try and use one of his weaknesses against him. But he has no more weaknesses. Maimo has taken his family, freedom, even his dignity. He's used everything. And now his words will have no effect. This isn't a rebellion, it's revenge. Ruto will finish this. Even if Gountess dies, Ruto will close the curtain. Quietly, Maimo states, to Lily. He understands she's an old friend. What who he gifted his first ever choker to. It must have taken tremendous effort to hide her. But seeing Ruto, he was convinced. And now Gountess is going to do one last thing. Gountess's eyes light into fear as we go into a flashback. Him listening in on his grandparents. Gountess won't make it into adulthood. He was born with a weak heart. Both of his parents died to a disease he himself has. He won't live much longer. The only piece he has is his Watchman necklace. Gountess states his body has no future, only pain. At least he is lucky to have something to cling to. His grandpa gave him the necklace. It was from the Sherbrooke family. He's never to give it to anyone who isn't part of the Sherbrooke family, as it won't be kind to just anyone. The necklace to those fulfilled is poison, to those empty it brings peace, and to a master it offers a choice. And has been fully expressed in Gachiakuta, this is true to Gountess. When he touches the necklace, it distracted him from the emptiness. Even so, he cries. When is he going to die? A young girl sits outside of his window. Gountess surprised, and so he touches the chair, startling the girl. She apologizes and tries to introduce herself, but her stomach rumbles. Somehow she ends up inside at the family's dinner table, introducing herself as Lily, Gountess's family happy to help her. Gountess looks away. It must be nice to be full of life. She should go away. He wants quiet. It all makes him sick. Harsh, but understandable feelings. It's a troubling comparison. He's soon to die and is painfully aware of it. And out of nowhere, a girl 10 times more lively appears. Though the family then lifts her hair, revealing unhealable damage. Time passes and she's become a regular. Gountess asking, "Aren't your parents worried about you?" Lily cheerfully replying, "Nope, they're gone. They said she was too noisy, getting mad at her till they finally left her in the trash heap. She was lonely, but she worked really hard to find her way home. And the house was empty, which is just horrible. Even worse, she wallows, saying if she's too noisy, she won't come over anymore." And for the first time we've seen in his backstory, Gountess's background isn't dark. He views the light. He knows he doesn't have a future, but at least he has a home. He states his grandparents smile when Lily's there, so she can come over whenever. Gountess had thought his frozen heart would go on without ever thawing, but now he has to find out that when it connects to someone, even a frozen heart can start to feel warmth. This has to be fate. A boy with no possible future, full of feelings of erupting despair, meets a girl with no past, yet a future full of bright feelings and happiness. They couldn't be any more different, and their circumstances couldn't be any more wrong and apart. But I don't even need to say it, it's clear as day that somehow this is what each of them needed. Lily needed someone to listen to her joy and be happy to receive said joy. And Gountess needed anyone, someone who just wouldn't look at him like a young boy that's gonna die. He needed a person who treated him like a person, someone with life and real spirit. We resume as time passes, Gountess teaching Lily to read. Her really loving books about clowns and magic. Gountess states don't give in to impulses. That's how to live with a limited lifespan, because the impulses are what causes the shortness of breath. And just, what a sad thing to say. Basically saying, getting excited is what causes his near-death bouts, so he just fears and won't do it. Lily then finds a quote, staff. Well, actually to her, a sorcerer's wand. In reality, it's Gountess's grandma's cane, but Lily concludes grandma can use magic, a belief the lady indulges, leaving Lily with a smile. The cutest part of this scene is that I'm pretty sure this cane is her vital instrument. The one she used to cast magic and change outfits during the doll festival. The assumption is that she loved these people, the idea of magic, and valued them so much after their eventual deaths that she held on to the cane and it even became her instrument. I think that is so beautiful. This chance meeting was literal magic to her, and, well, she's just magical, she's a star. In the excitement, Gountess then has his first attack in a while, falling to the floor unable to breathe. But Lily is right there, him happy enough to cry, stating oxygen came easier than usual. How sweet. Lily then heads home, even though Grandma offers her a place to stay, saying she can live with them matter of fact. She still heads home. The whole time, as Gountess has been learning about Lily, he wonders how she can smile. And as she walks off on this cold, dark night, right after his devastating attack, he continuously states he wants to know. He wants to hear it. He wants to hear Lily's real voice. The oxygen mask in his hand transforms into a choker as the Watchman necklace activates, revealing vital instrument, Impulse. The first impulse he's ever had, which he had prior stated would kill him, made him into a giver. Of course, the first person to get a choker is Lily, and of course, she thinks Gountess is a wizard. Just adorable. Gountess had never thought he'd be a giver. He had thought he was empty, but Lily states they can now be together whenever. And he blushes. The best part being is that he again states, impulses cause shortness of breath, which their friendship is so perfect. Though late into that night, he hears mutters from his choker, listening to Lily cry. Why won't her mother come home? Revealing the reason she went home was that she wanted to feel connected to her parents, hoping for a miraculous return. And with this, everything is sadly clear. Lily does everything to make others happy and to appear happy herself. As Gountess puts it, it's an attempt to fight back. Basically, fake it till you make it. Maybe pretending to be the happiest thing in the world makes her actually happy. He speaks to Lily through the choker. He's here. He'll be her home. His real power is to reach those who wear their chokers, to open the door in their hearts. And the worst part is that we understand Maimo is ruthlessly using that power, and Gountess sees no other option but to allow it, as this Lily's life is now on the line. Though with this, he makes one final attempt to reach his goal. He appears to Ruto in a dreamlike scape. This is the true power of his vital instrument Connect, to show Ruto his thoughts and memories, The power of the necklace is to connect people's souls through thoughts and voices. Gountess has opened the heart to everyone wearing a choker, yet Ruto is the only one to receive the memories of his. It's a very heavy burden. Gountess's power was built up to us as a creepy idea, a silly but unnerving blood-infused telephone you wear on your neck. With this, it was further explored through a mysterious veil, one where you could easily assume he's a bad guy, one listening in on everything and plotting something horrible. But now it's clearer than ever he's a burdened man with a heart of pain, yet one of gold. There is no better example than this, that even when connecting his soul to Ruto's, conversating in his own created place, he's shackled in the very place Lily sat. Lily is his heart, and now she's locked down, threatened to be taken from him, and he can only view himself as powerless and in chains. He wants to connect, to watch Lily glow, yet he can only view himself stuck as that little boy in shackles. Ruto is then forced to watch how Gountess met Maimo, him introducing himself and asking, does Gountess like high places? They make you feel like you hold the entire world in your hands. He has heard of Gountess's chokers, asking him to join him. He even gave Gountess the best medical treatment possible. It's the only reason he currently lives. Gountess was told to run, eat, and earn freely. It was happiness. Happiness he couldn't tell was from the devil. He set his sights on the chokers. With time, they sprouted up everywhere. He wanted to use the money to build a house for Lily and his family. Though over time, he became possessed by the job, speaking to no one, locking himself in a dark, dingy room. It's an image of despair. Here, he tells Ruto to never let his goal take him captive. When that happens, you'll lose sight of what matters the most. A very important statement to Ruto, as his goals are constantly changing and evolving, and he's possibly the most driven character in the series. This is a very important thing for him of all people to see. Yet Maimo, hearing of this, hearing that he planned to stop, he revealed his plans to rule through the chokers. And when Gountess obviously refused, Maimo placed his grandparents' heads in front of him. Gountess cries out, that, and now he has Lily. He can't let it happen to her. Her power gives her the ability to do anything. Yet if it's used to harm, she will die. Lily's ignorance is her shield. If she loses that ignorance, notices the darkness around her, she will lose the ability to be the star of happiness she is. With all his breath, Gountess brings his head down, screaming for Ruto to help. He has no idea what Maimo will do, what the devil will do, but Ruto is his only hope. He needs him. Ruto yells that he's got this as Gountess explains Maimo's intentions. While Gountess's voice is one of sincerity, to touch another's soul, Maimo's voice will cause a soul to degenerate, to carry out any order he asks, even remaking themselves into something beyond human. The second Maimo is struck down, he takes full advantage of this, drinking his own blood and using his voice to degenerate himself, ordering himself to take a form beyond human. Maimo has commanded himself to become a higher power, appearing as a monstrous apparition no longer resembling himself, a battle Ruto has to fight, and one Gountess is forced to witness. Ruto is then beaten down, powerless in comparison to this unholy, crazed beast Maimo has become. Gountess tries to explain it as him becoming a god affected his mind, but Ruto is stern, making it clear that Gountess and his story meant the world to him, simply saying his goal consumed him and that he lost sight of what he wanted. He states he'll end Maimo. He'll use Gountess's Watchmen series powers with his own, and he'll turn into the same creature as Maimo. He'll use it against him and defeat him. Gountess cannot believe what he's hearing. He screams that Ruto cannot die for his revenge. His life isn't even worth anything anymore while Ruto has countless things to accomplish. Ruto corrects him. He's gonna die? No, he's just gonna kick his butt. Gountess is speechless. He didn't want Ruto to risk it all. Why does he feel like he can still rely on him? As Ruto transforms into a full-fledged werewolf demon, he concludes it's for one reason: It's Rudo's determination to stay true to his rage that makes Gountess able to believe in him against every odd. And with this, the final showdown begins. Gountess forced to be nothing more than a witness. Though we jump back in time for a second, where Gountess calls Rudo's plan a mission that'll just send him to his death. 3R, when it's stunned with an item, disintegrates it. It would likely do the same for his body. Gountess panics. His plan has pushed Rudo to devalue himself, thinking of himself as an object. He thinks everything that's happened is on himself. Maimo's wrath, the threats against Lily's life, and now Rudo's staring death straight in the eyes. He begs anyone for an idea, just anything. He then wakes up. His mind was in captivity just as he is physically. He realizes he used others to solve his problems, but he too can help. And so, he has a plan for Rudo. He'll take an object and a person and fuse them together, recalling a scene of him and Lily as kids. Rudo will fuse himself with this hat, transforming, obtaining the same exact type of power, but without risking Rudo's life. As we've seen, it was a success. Rudo yells to Maimo. Gountess can open and connect to his soul. He gives people heartfelt words formed from a gentle place. Imagining this praise gives Rudo the power to crumble Maimo's godly body in a single strike. Gountess's power is officially in full effect. His heartfelt energy reaches someone's soul. It really happens. It's literally the ability to give someone power with caring words. Gountess has never seen this himself. Perhaps he wasn't ready to accept such a thing. Yet Rudo has now proved he can do literally anything. This power is strong enough to strike this false god down. And that's where we currently put a cap on Gountess, a character I think you can only describe as sad, despair, and tragic. He makes me want to cry. Growing up with no parents, a disease said to kill him before adulthood, and the fear if he even gets happy he'll die, Gountess has been despaired since day one. He says it all, wondering at times when he'll die. Lily then appears, and when that shortness of breath comes, he now has someone there. A person you can only describe as a light, and even though she had her own pain, through magical ideas like clowns and wizards, she wants to be a star. Gountess awakened his instrument to connect to others, to use his fragile life to open the door to others' hearts, to offer people like him who may have been sick and unable a chance to communicate like he had. Though like he had said, he made a deal with the devil. He found himself obsessed with his work at the hands of a person who was willing to enslave him for that very work. And now that devil has taken literally everything. The dream to connect has turned Gountess into a decrepit man, one forced into isolation, and one chained in shackles and needles. Yet he still has one hope, Lily, and he begs Rudo to fulfill that hope. I think in reality there's only two ways this tale of theirs ends. Gountess and Lily make it out hand in hand, together, both brutally apparent of the fragility in each of their hearts, or death. Gountess is broken and in the midst of it all, praying for Lily's safety in that she stays blissfully unaware of it. Yet she without a doubt likely has a suspicion. She's shown to be watching from afar, and I think it's ultra naive to assume she has no idea. She means the world to Gountess, but it's like he's forgotten it's the same for her. After all, her vital instrument is a magic wand, and he is her wizard. Their tale is connected whether he likes it or not. Yet for now, their future is ultimately uncertain. The battle has yet to be complete, and who knows what awaits these two. But of course, let me know what you think of Gountess and Lily and where you think these two are going to go next. What do you think their fates will end up as? And how do you think the rest of the Doll Festival arc is going to go? But thank you so much for watching, and of course, I will see you next time.